Here's a controversial truth. Most men completely misunderstand what women actually respond to. They think being funny, buying gifts, or trying to impress a woman with stories about themselves is enough to spark attraction. But the reality is far simpler and far more powerful than most guys realize. There are certain things you can say to a woman that almost instantly create interest, curiosity, and a deep sense of connection. These aren't cheesy lines or manipulative tricks. They're subtle psychological statements that tap into how women think and feel about men. The problem is, most men don't know what to say. They overthink, overexplain, or rely on the wrong kind of words that actually push women away. Attraction isn't built on flattery or charm alone. It's built on language that communicates confidence, value, and understanding. Words that signal you're a man who knows himself, knows what he wants, and isn't afraid to express it naturally. When used correctly, these 5 things can completely shift the dynamic. They make women feel seen, intrigued, and even a little captivated by your presence. And the beauty of it is that it works with women across different personalities and backgrounds because it speaks to human psychology, not just dating tactics. Once you understand the principle behind the words, you'll realize that attraction is less about what you do and more about what you say and how it makes her feel. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these 7 things are, why they work, and how to say them naturally without coming across as manipulative or fake. You'll also see why so many men fail to connect with women, even when they think they're doing everything right. So, if you're ready to speak in a way that genuinely draws women in, sparks attraction, and creates respect without forcing it, you're in the right place. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're breaking down the 7 things you need to say to attract any woman, and why most men never even realize they exist. Let's dive in. 1. The phrase that sparks instant curiosity. Let's start with something most men overlook. Women are naturally curious, and the right words can trigger that curiosity in a powerful way. It's not about being mysterious for the sake of it or playing games. It's about saying something that engages her mind and makes her want to know more about you. Curiosity creates attraction because it pulls her in, not by pressure, but by intrigue. Imagine you're on a first date, or even just chatting casually, and instead of asking the usual, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" you say something like, "I did something last week that completely changed how I think about success. Want to hear about it?" That simple line shifts the dynamic immediately. She's no longer just giving surface-level answers. She's engaged. She's curious. She wants to know what you're thinking and how you experience life. This works because women subconsciously respond to men who stimulate their minds, not just their emotions. When you say something that sparks curiosity, you're signaling that you have depth, experiences, and perspective that are worth paying attention to. It shows you're not ordinary and that your world isn't limited to mundane conversation. Women respect that. It's rare and magnetic. Another reason this phrase works is it positions you as someone who leads the conversation naturally. Instead of following her cues or waiting for topics to arise, you set the tone and guide the interaction. A man who does this confidently without over-explaining or bragging automatically gains respect and attention. It's also important to keep it light and conversational. You don't want to sound like you're trying too hard or putting on a performance. The goal is to invite curiosity, not intimidate. Your tone, body language, and timing matter as much as the words themselves. Confidence, combined with a hint of intrigue, makes her want to lean in and engage. 2. Why compliments often fail. Most men think giving compliments is the golden ticket to attraction. They believe that telling a woman she looks beautiful, smart, or stylish will automatically make her like them. The truth? Compliments often fail, and here's why. Compliments are powerful only when they feel genuine and meaningful. Generic phrases like "you're pretty" or "you look nice" are forgettable. They don't communicate anything unique about her or about you. In fact, they can sometimes make you appear needy or predictable. Women receive compliments all the time, so the ones that stand out are the ones that connect with her personally and show that you truly notice something specific about her character, energy, or presence. Another reason compliments often fail is timing. Dropping them too early or too frequently can feel forced. Women respect men who have standards and don't overvalidate them. If you compliment a woman constantly, it signals that your mood or approval depends on her responses. That's not attractive. It's the opposite. Confidence and self-possession, on the other hand, naturally amplify your words when you do choose to give a compliment. The quality of the compliment matters more than the quantity. Compliments that highlight effort, personality, or something she's proud of are far more impactful than compliments about looks alone. For instance, acknowledging a skill, insight, or passion communicates that you see her deeper than surface-level appearances. That's what creates a connection, respect, and attraction simultaneously. It's also about balance. Compliments should never replace conversation, intrigue, or playful tension. If a man relies solely on flattery, he risks becoming boring or predictable. Women want men who can engage, challenge, and intrigue them. Someone who can make them laugh, think, or feel understood. Compliments are the garnish, not the main course. 3. The secret words that build respect. If you want to attract women and keep their interest, respect is everything, and the words you use play a huge role in creating it. The secret words that build respect aren't flashy or over the top. They're simple, direct, and grounded in confidence. Women notice when a man speaks with authority, clarity, and purpose, and that naturally commands respect. First, avoid language that diminishes your own value or overexplains your intentions. Phrases like, "I hope you don't mind," or "I just thought maybe," signal uncertainty and neediness. Women subconsciously pick up on this and may lose respect because it communicates that you don't fully believe in yourself. Respect comes from a man who speaks clearly and confidently about what he wants, what he thinks, and what he values. Next, use words that communicate boundaries. Saying things like, "I don't do drama," or "I value honesty above all," shows that you have standards and aren't willing to compromise them. This communicates strength and self-respect, which women instinctively respond to. Men who lack boundaries often find themselves taken for granted, while men who state their values clearly naturally earn admiration. Another key aspect is words that demonstrate competence and self-possession. Talking about your goals, experiences, or decisions in a calm, matter-of-fact way signals that you are in control of your life. Women respect men who act intentionally, not those who stumble or waffle through life. The way you describe yourself, your actions, and your worldview communicates more than you realize. It signals your identity and your worth. Words that show emotional intelligence are also highly effective. Phrases like, "I respect how you handled that," or "I appreciate your perspective," demonstrate awareness, empathy, and understanding without appearing weak or submissive. Women respect men who can acknowledge emotions, both theirs and theirs, while still maintaining their own sense of self. The takeaway is simple. Use words that reinforce your value, your standards, and your self-confidence. Avoid language that diminishes your worth or seeks validation. Speak with clarity, purpose, and authority. When your words communicate strength, self-possession, and respect for both yourself and her, you naturally attract interest and admiration. Respect is the foundation, and these secret words are how you build it. 4. How to make her feel seen, not flattered. Here's a critical distinction most men miss. Women don't just want compliments, they want to feel seen. Flattery is shallow and temporary. Feeling seen is deep, meaningful, and builds real connection. It's not about telling her she looks nice or that she's pretty. It's about showing that you truly notice who she is, what she does, and how she thinks. Making a woman feel seen starts with paying attention to details that matter. It's the small things, how she handles challenges, the way she expresses herself, her passions, and her choices. Commenting on these shows that you recognize her individuality rather than treating her as just another pretty face. For example, instead of saying, "You look great in that dress," you could say, "I like how focused you are on your goals. It's impressive." This communicates respect for her character, intelligence, and effort. It's also about being present. Women can tell when a man is genuinely engaged versus just nodding along while thinking about something else. Being attentive, asking thoughtful questions, and responding sincerely signals that you value her perspective. When she feels seen, it creates emotional resonance, and emotional resonance fuels attraction and respect. Another key point is balance. You want to acknowledge and appreciate her without overdoing it or making it feel performative. Over-flattering can seem desperate, whereas thoughtful recognition feels authentic. Women can sense when your words are motivated by a desire for attention versus genuine understanding. Authenticity is magnetic, flattery is forgettable. The right words, delivered with confidence and sincerity, help her feel understood without compromising your own value. When you make her feel seen, you elevate the conversation and create an experience where she feels recognized for who she truly is. This is far more compelling than any superficial compliment and lays the groundwork for deeper respect and attraction. The takeaway is clear. Stop relying on surface-level flattery. Focus on making her feel seen. Observe, acknowledge, and respond authentically to who she is. When done correctly, your words will resonate, create connection, and build lasting attraction. 5. The statement that creates emotional pull. There's one type of statement that instantly creates an emotional pull with women. It's not about flattery or charm. It's about connecting to her feelings, curiosity, and imagination in a way that makes her want to engage with you. Emotional pull happens when your words touch her subconscious, giving her a sense that you understand her world and can match her energy. Picture this. You're having a casual conversation at a coffee shop, and she mentions she's been stressed at work. Instead of offering the usual, "That sucks," or "Don't worry," you say something like, "I can tell how hard you push yourself, and I respect that. Most people wouldn't notice, but I do." That simple line shifts the dynamic. It's not just words, it communicates attention, understanding, and appreciation for who she is. She feels seen, valued, and emotionally connected. This works because emotional pull taps into human psychology. Women naturally gravitate toward men who create a sense of depth and understanding. When you speak in a way that resonates with her inner world, you're no longer just talking. You're creating an experience. She feels drawn in, curious about your perspective, and subtly compelled to engage more deeply. Another reason this works is it communicates that you're different from other men. Most men respond with surface-level commentary or jokes that entertain temporarily. A man who can express insight into her feelings or experiences stands out. It signals maturity, intelligence, and emotional awareness, qualities women respect and find attractive. Timing and delivery are important. You want your statement to feel natural and conversational, not forced or rehearsed. The goal is to create a subtle pull, not overwhelm her with intensity. Paired with confident body language and genuine tone, the emotional impact is magnified. 6. Why vulnerability can trigger attraction. Vulnerability is one of the most misunderstood aspects of attraction. Many men think showing vulnerability makes them weak, needy, or less attractive. The truth is the opposite. When expressed correctly, vulnerability can trigger deep attraction and respect. Women respond to men who can show emotional honesty, self-awareness, and confidence in their imperfections. The key is balance. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing every thought, whining about problems, or seeking constant reassurance. It means revealing enough to show depth, authenticity, and trustworthiness. For example, admitting that you've had challenges but worked to overcome them communicates resilience. It shows that you're self-aware, accountable, and capable of growth, qualities that women naturally admire. Another aspect is emotional honesty. Sharing genuine thoughts or feelings about experiences, passions, or challenges allows her to see the real you. This doesn't require dramatic confessions. Even small insights into your mindset, goals, or perspective can create connection. Women feel drawn to men who can express themselves without fear of judgment, because it signals courage and authenticity. Vulnerability also demonstrates strength in another way. It takes confidence to expose your true self, knowing that some people might not understand or accept it. Men who hide behind bravado, jokes, or superficial charm often appear shallow, while men willing to be emotionally transparent create trust and magnetism. Women respect that courage because it signals emotional maturity. It's important to combine vulnerability with self-possession. A man who is vulnerable but still grounded communicates balance. He's open but not desperate. He's real but not overly dependent on validation. This subtle combination creates an irresistible dynamic because it shows confidence, emotional intelligence, and stability. The takeaway: vulnerability, when expressed thoughtfully, is a tool for creating genuine connection and attraction. It's not a weakness. It's a demonstration of self-awareness, courage, and emotional strength. When paired with confidence, clear boundaries, and authenticity, vulnerability can make you magnetic to women in a way that superficial charm never will. 7. Stop saying this. Start saying what works. Here's some tough love for men. Most of the things you say to women aren't working. You might think that being funny, overly complimentary, or constantly reassuring her will create attraction. But in reality, these habits often kill respect and interest. If you want to attract any woman, it's time to stop saying what doesn't work and start speaking in ways that naturally create curiosity, respect, and emotional pull. First, stop over-flattering. Compliments on looks alone, repeated too often, make you forgettable or needy. Women are used to hearing how beautiful they are. They don't need validation from every guy they meet. Instead, focus on noticing qualities that reflect her personality, effort, or perspective. Comments like, "I admire how focused you are on your goals," or "You have a perspective most people overlook," communicate awareness, intelligence, and respect. These are the kinds of words that actually make her pay attention. Second, stop over-explaining. Many men feel the need to justify every action, opinion, or choice. This often comes across as insecurity. Women respect men who can state their thoughts, feelings, and intentions clearly and confidently without begging for approval. Simple, direct statements carry more weight than paragraphs of justification. Third, stop trying to impress with material things or status alone. Attraction built solely on money, cars, or flashy experiences is superficial and short-lived. Words that communicate value, purpose, and depth will always outperform empty attempts at impressing. Women notice substance over show. Constructive criticism? Reflect on your current conversations. Are you saying things to genuinely connect, or are you talking just to get a reaction? Are you giving her space to engage, or are you trying to fill silence with words that don't matter? Awareness is the first step to change. Start saying what works by combining curiosity, emotional resonance, and authenticity. Speak in ways that spark intrigue, show understanding, and demonstrate confidence. Notice her world, respond thoughtfully, and communicate your values without compromise. When you do this, attraction grows naturally, and respect follows automatically. The takeaway is simple. Stop the bad habits that kill attraction and start using language that creates connection, respect, and emotional pull. Women don't respond to desperation, over flattery, or confusion. They respond to men who communicate clearly, authentically, and confidently. Make this shift, and your conversations and your results will transform. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. What you say matters more than how you look, how much money you make, or how flashy you appear. Attraction is psychological. And the right words, delivered with confidence, authenticity, and understanding, can draw women in like nothing else. Say the wrong things, and even the best looks or status won't save you. Say the right things, and women feel curious, seen, and emotionally connected to you almost instantly. Here's a provocative thought. Most men sabotage their own attraction without even realizing it. They overflatter, overexplain, and say what they think women want to hear, instead of speaking in ways that naturally create respect, intrigue, and emotional pull. Changing the way you communicate is often more powerful than changing anything else about yourself. Now it's your turn. Which of these 7 types of statements have you tried or struggled to use effectively? Have you noticed how women respond differently when you speak in ways that create curiosity, emotional pull, or respect? Share your experiences in the comments. I'll be reading and engaging with every single one. Let's have a real conversation about what works, what doesn't, and how to improve. Remember, attraction isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about understanding, authenticity, and the words that naturally make women feel drawn to you. Start paying attention to how you speak, what you say, and how it lands. Make small adjustments, test them, and notice the results. The right words, said the right way, can change everything.